In this video, you will learn how to analyze a solid body to identify manufacturability concerns based on best practices for plastic injection molding and user results and recommendations to address any issues using the Design Advice command in the Fusion 360 product design extension. The Design Advice command can help you identify manufacturability concerns based on best practices for plastic injection molding. It provides manufacturing-aware design recommendations and lets you use modeling tools in the design workspace to fix issues on the fly. Before you use the design advice, you should assign a plastic rule to the component that contains the solid body you want to analyze, so that the results and recommendations will reflect the plastic material you will use to manufacture the part. And you can use the Manage Plastic Rules command to verify that the settings are defined properly for the plastic material. If you select a solid body in a component that does not have a plastic rule assigned to it, you can assign it a plastic rule on the fly. If you don't, then the Design Advice tool will use a default plastic rule in your design to analyze a solid body. To access the command, on the Plastic tab, select Inspect Design Advice, and the Design Advice dialog displays. You are first being asked to select a body to analyze, which you can do so from the canvas or the browser. Then, you must select a face, plane, linear edge or axis to define the pull direction. Finally, click Analyze to analyze the selected solid body against the plastic rule. It's worth noting that you can select or deselect elements to include or exclude from the analysis, depending on how simplified you want the analysis to be. Once the analysis is complete, on the Summary tab, an overview displays all the alerts found during the analysis. Within these results, you can review the alert summary cards and include thickness, which displays a number of regions that fall outside the thickness range or exceed the thickness variation defined in the plastic rule. Undercuts, which displays a number of regions that will interfere with injection from a mold based on the pull direction. Draft, which displays a number of regions with faces that don't meet the minimum draft angle defined in the plastic rule. And knife edges, which displays a number of regions with thin gaps that fall below the knife edge threshold defined in the plastic rule. If a section has been checked and has no alerts, or if you have resolved any alerts, then the summary commands will collapse with a green check displayed next to it. To view more details behind the summary, click on View Details to switch to its associated tab. There are a number of areas you can review, which include Rule Details that state the name of the plastic rule used to analyze a solid body, Thickness Range, which displays the valid range based on the plastic rule, and Thickness Variation, which displays the maximum variation allowed based on the plastic rule. You can also adjust the details to control the style and type of results to display. Alerts Only displays the areas affected by thickness alerts as a red overlay on the solid body in the canvas. Full Range displays the full range of thickness results as a gradient overlay on the solid body in the canvas. Red represents the thickest regions, and dark blue represents the thinnest regions. Then we have an alert type drop-down, which lets you select an alert type to display. Large thickness variation are regions that exceed the maximum percentage thickness variation. Too thick are regions that are thicker than the upper limit of the thickness range. And too thin are regions that are thinner than the lower limit of the thickness range. If the list of alerts is long, you can select the alert you want to inspect from the canvas or the highlighted row in the dialog. And you can also click Isolate Alert to only display the selected alert and hide all other alerts in the canvas. You can also click the alert icon to expand the menu and select Ignore to ignore the alert, then switch back to alert if you decide you do not want to ignore it. In the Recommendations section, you can review and apply the advice that displays. This includes a general description of the issue and, in the advice section, suggestions on how best to resolve the issue. You will also find the same detailed review and recommendation sections on the undercuts, draft, and knife edge tabs, giving you the same detailed information for each particular area you wish to review. While design advice is open, you can use any of the tools in the design workspace to apply the advice and resolve alerts for specific regions. After you adjust the geometry, you can analyze the solid body again to update the analysis, and any alerts that you resolve will disappear from the results and a green check mark will display next to the respective area. To end the analysis, click Close. Once you are satisfied with the results, you can then take these into the injection molding simulation workspace, either via the link in the advice section of the Design Advice dialog or the workspace drop-down, to further analyze the flow of plastic through your parts during the injection molding process. Now you know how to analyze a solid body to identify manufacturability concerns based on best practices for plastic injection molding, and use the results and recommendations to address any issues using the Design Advice command in the Fusion 360 product design extension. Thanks for watching.